Hi, everybody, and welcome to podcast number 8.
Hi.
We'd like to
I think we're going to continue a few themes
like
from
to
the previous one.
expand
But,
on a
yeah.
few thoughts we made in podcast number 7. It's just not enough time.
And we've got a lot of interesting things that the new topics that we're discussing today. What I wanted to actually continue a point that you made is that, and this is sort of throwing a cat amongst the pigeons, so to speak, but with abstraction, with elitist abstract art, it's actually subconscious figuration to a large degree. And what I mean by that, and this is a lot of people actually responding to elitist work because they look at what is supposed to be, ostensibly, abstract, elitist abstract art. But when they look at it, when they look at elitist paintings, they can identify all sorts of recognizable objects in it, like they see creatures or faces or limbs,
but it's really
or
interesting.
fantasy creatures and things like that.
Really interesting. Like Ailita yesterday, she was really like not really hysterical. She says, "Oh, I can't find my drawing. I can't find my drawing. My sketch. Because I said, "What's the matter? Which one was it?" And she said, one which is I draw from my painting, because what she does, she looks into her painting and she sees magical creatures in it, and afterwards she actually sketches these magical creatures from her own paintings. And it's really interesting. This is how she sees her art as well.
Oh no! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! So she discovers a magical creature in the painting.
Yes, and she draws
then,
afterwards,
and then
sketches
draws it and puts it into a sort of a more figurative form.
Yes.
Isolating it from all the background of the painting. Okay. So her painting is actually triggering all these mythical creatures and.
It's not like it's not just people themselves who love elitist art. They're constantly pointing it out. Oh, I saw this. I saw dragon. I saw face. I saw dancer. I saw this.
But that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
But you see, Ailita herself, she's constantly says, "Mom, look, I see this and look at this and that way and this way." Because you see, this is why, like, the Ailita says that her paintings are like a jigsaw puzzle of a universe, and it doesn't matter, because I always ask her, because
it's a jigsaw puzzle of the universe populated by layers of identifiable figurative creatures.
But you see, like, I always ask her, because like sometimes, like, because I do photograph her artwork, and I do all this like logistics of everything. And I ask her, Alita, which way, because I simply don't remember which way this painting goes. She says it doesn't matter, because like it's no top and bottom in space. This is.
But
her
isn't
answer.
it funny? Isn't it funny? I wanted to make 2 points on that. Number one, isn't it funny that and I think maybe it's adults. We have to choose one particular orientation, one particular sort of XY axis. You can't turn it the other way. Becomes quote unquote upside down. Imagine if you took, and I'm only saying this because it's a famous example. If you took Pollock's work, and I don't know the name of it, in MoMA. And you took that.
No, I mean, one second. Most famous one, blue balls, are here in Canberra.
No. The one. Okay, no, but people might not know that. They might be more
aware. The most expensive, most amazing painting of Jackson Pollock is in Canberra.
Okay, so our then Prime Minister in the late 60s. I can't remember the exact date. Yeah, we had this quite amazing Prime Minister, and he was left-leaning and considered a bit radical in relative terms. He actually, the then government, Australian government, paid $1 million, right? Can you imagine? I think this was in 1970, 71, something like that. $1 million for Jackson Pollock's blue poles. Now, can you imagine the uproar that there was in the media? The public were just saying, what a waste of money. You've squandered taxpayers' money buying some rubbish. I mean, look at this. It's not even a painting of anything.
Well, it's okay to spend $1 billion on a widget, but not on a painting.
Yeah, but that's to defend the country, you see. What's a painting going to do? Paintings have no... wait a minute. Paintings have no utilitarian purpose. That's what makes it art. It has to be... It's interesting that one of the central conditions of art is that it must be useless. It must be practically useless. So anyway, getting back to this point. So anyway, the government pays $1 million for this blue poles. But imagine if you took blue poles, right, and you turned it upside down. So this is my point. You turn it upside down. Is there a correct orientation or you turn it sideways? I mean, is there a correct orientation for abstract art, and who gets to decide?
Well, yes.
You were changing the orientation of Aelita's paintings to actually discover creatures and take photos of them, because you've got, and we have to put some of your photos up because they're amazing. Because what Nika would do was she would spend hours poring over a canvas of Aelita's, poring over a painting of Aelita's, and finding, your brain is starting to put together a figurative, recognizable image in the painting. Sort of like the more you look at it, the more you discover, and the more layers of all of these.
But
discover and Aelita, and you photograph it. And you did this stunning photograph.
You see, what's really, really amazing.
But you didn't stick to the up, down, left, right orientation, did you? You did it any which way.
You see, it's really interesting because at one point Aelita said that this is more like all her art is like a landscape, which is like bird eye view on a historic landscape, because she was considering
it's like
her work.
the jigsaw puzzle pieces of the universe.
Yes,
because the universe has no up or down.
Yeah, this is what she told me, because and I'm thinking okay, it's all really well, but I still have to send the photographs to curators. I send
so
to
what
galleries.
happens in an art? So in a
she
gallery,
says, okay,
so in an exhibition, so in an exhibition of abstract paintings, there is a completely arbitrary decision about which way it goes.
Wait a minute.
No,
some artists are incredibly specific. As far as Aelita concerned, she said she built in her universe. This is her take.
I'm talking about the viewer. The viewer.
This is her
Maybe
take.
I prefer it a different way.
Well, then you get the Jackson Pollock painting and see if you can see anything in
But
this
it's up
painting.
to me, because it's not figurative. It's not like I'm going to put a king on his head, right, which automatically makes it ludicrous, which is a separate political statement.
I'm not talking
but
about
this is
that.
abstraction.
Abstraction, but if you see,
and can I say too?
I was trying to see lots of, because I was trying to study it, and I would try to see in lots of abstract work if I can see any magical creatures or anything sort of like a visual. Are you
criticizing Jackson Pollock?
I'm not criticizing him, because
you
maybe
couldn't see creatures in it.
But wait a minute, he's a different artist to Aelita. Why we should compare Aelita to Jackson Pollock?
We're not. I'm not.
Or another artist, because I think it's so wrong to compare one soul to another soul.
I'm not doing that. I'm just simply preempting. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm preempting what you're saying, that you said you couldn't find magical creatures in Jackson Pollock.
Because look, he is a different person from different.
But you can't say what his intention was. If you do find magical creatures, that's entirely up to you.
This is, Aelita,
isn't that the beauty of abstraction? Isn't it the beauty of abstraction?
No, it's not a beauty. Wait a minute. I just could not find magical creatures in a Jackson Pollock work. I'm very sorry.
But I'm saying the random personal associations that you make are perfectly legitimate, and abstract art actually fosters that, encourages it, expects it. That it actually demands a different interaction than figurative art.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, I'm not arguing with that, but I'm saying that's each abstract artist got their own take on this thing.
Absolutely.
This is the beauty of our world, because we're so different. We have to encourage to be different. This is why it's so important that every person on this earth express themselves who they are, express themselves creatively. My gosh, we're going to have much better world. And before you become the lawyer or accountant, express yourself. Maybe it will change your attitude towards the world.
You could be a lawyer painter.
Why not?
There are many
many
scientists are painters.
Look, Da Vinci was an incredible scientist because he had this imagination.
But that was a different era when there was no artificial division between science and art. So that was actually a brilliant period because science and art
also,
were one
like,
and the
it's
same
really,
thing.
really, how can I put it? Like, because people are just think, okay, if you're artist, you equals poor. If you're lawyer, in accountant, you equals rich. I think it's
Well,
just
parents,
such
hang
a
on,
wrong.
parents. I
Because
think parents do that. Parents look at that. I mean, you've got the golden cash register on one side, and you've got lowly painting. You're going to be
like
poor.
Picasso burning his paintings to be able to stay warm.
But just as well
this,
he continued though, just as
not
well.
burning, just
Not continue burning his paintings. No, otherwise he wouldn't have had anybody work.
And also,
work
it's really interesting because then you had like Medici family, they support artists,
patrons of the arts,
patrons like Dali, Salvador Dali had his own patron, and it's really interesting because
Dali had a patron. I didn't know that.
Yes, and also what was really interesting, they lived like in a high life, but like have a look at his documentary.
But he was poor for a long time.
Yeah, they were hungry. Him and his wife, they were literally
Galia.
They were going around hungry because they just tried to keep this lifestyle going, but like they were destitute. They didn't have something to eat. But it's all part of the like you have to be seen. You have to be seen doing well, and the rest of it. It's just such
it's all part of branding and marketing yourself.
Yes, and
which we now sort of look at as a tainted, as a sort of a bit of a dirty word, but there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, just because we have a negative connotation, but it's really important. I mean, if you don't promote yourself, if you do something truly great and you promote it, let's say you shamelessly promote it, but that's actually a good thing. We're so used to being promoted things that are detrimental.
But you see, as long as like look, how can I put it? It's so difficult to do any of these endeavors, to do any of your art, especially art is just my gosh, art is just so
the connotation of the starving, poverty-stricken artist.
It's just so.
So is that what you're recommending for people?
Difficult. No, I recommend. Look, after 10, 15, 20 years, like if you're really there, if you're really dedicated.
You have to be dedicated.
No, you will be rewarded. But look, you're talking
about
art.
That's your personal vision. It's your personal vision.
You're talking about
you've remained integrity.
Recently, have a look what Elon Musk said recently. He says,
what did he say?
After 20 years, he's been rewarded. After 20 years, he was
rewarded immediately for PayPal. He sold PayPal, and even he was 12 years old, and he came up with a computer game, right? When he was 12, which I can't imagine it was really complex. But he was already financially rewarded. And I would say, okay, I can't remember what the amount was. I should look it up. It wasn't terribly much, but PayPal? The fact that... No, the computer game. Yeah, no, PayPal, it was more than $100 million. I can't remember. No. I'm talking about the game that he sold when he was 12 years old. But the fact is, he's already made a really important connection between your personal output and financial reward. Financial reward in the real world. It's not just some, a school giving you a prize or whatever. This is the real world, the harsh world that's actually rewarding him for his effort as a 12-year-old. So, let's just put things into perspective as far as Musk. Bill Gates, for example, created tic-tac-toe, and he was about the same age, 11 or 12. And, okay, he wasn't financially rewarded from that. But the thing is that planted incredible seeds in his mind. He thought, oh my gosh, I can program something and I'm only a kid. So...
But seriously, because I can understand, but also like the Musk was on the edge of a bankruptcy with the Tesla, and it's not easy.
Yeah,
and he was taking whole risk, and he is investing all his money into passionate. Something he is believing in.
Right,
it's the founder of Amazon. He is selling his shares of Amazon to be able to go to space as well, because like these people.
But he's got the money to spend.
Well, I understand, but like
I know what you mean.
Well, these
he could just kick back. He doesn't need to do that.
Taking their own money, they worked really, really hard.
I know what you're saying. You've got so many so many very wealthy people, extremely wealthy people in the world, but not that many that are actually devoting a vast amount of their fortune to pursuing a beneficial vision for humanity. Like, you can argue whatever you like about Musk and people like that, but
how cool is that? How incredible is that? And it's just, but they still, if you look at those people, it's all about originality, all about being themselves.
Well, a vision. Having a vision.
But of course, you having a vision, it's your original vision. This is why you succeed in it. Because nobody else have your vision. This is why.
Well, success depends on a lot of factors, but if you're persistent, to such an extent,
and
you may be fortunate enough.
24/7. If you work hard, I can't imagine why you can't succeed. And if you are original,
it's a bit utopian, but the fact is that we need far more people doing that, and I think that's the main point. We really
but
need
it's
people
really interesting.
to
Of course,
do
we
that.
need a lot more people doing it but if your child pushed constantly into being accountant and having some safe future for yourself, a lot of people like who can actually do something like these entrepreneurs, they're probably going to move into more safest future rather than a really risky one like all another people took. And as far as the elite are concerned, it is big risk. Yes, to be abstract artist, to be number one female, number two to be abstract artist, it's very tough. And to be exhibited abstract artist and get solo shows around the world, it is tough because all odds are against of her, not for her, but against of her. And she's got a long way to go and improve herself, probably another 50 or 60 years before she's going to be properly recognized as an artist. Look at Kusama.
Yayoi Kusama. We actually talked about her in another podcast, but I think that's a really good point, actually, that Nika's making. I mean, the relentless persistence. I mean, just and she's only really, if you look at it, I mean, she was trying to break into She was trying to break into the art world
and
for
every
decades.
odds were against of her. Number one, she was Japanese and it was
a Japanese woman.
Japanese was treated appallingly.
Oh well, yeah. Look at the war. I mean,
appallingly. She was
War
Japanese.
II. Yeah.
She was a woman.
Yeah.
She was in pretty much abstract art. If you look at her, I don't know what this woman went through. And look at her now. Yeah. She's 91.
Yeah.
And
she's still doing the same thing. She's persisting.
She's a blossoming.
Stick to it.
She's
Stick
a blossoming. She's got her image together. Her
image is stunning.
Look,
did she come up with that? That's amazing.
She's a young. I think she's the youngest artist. Like she's young.
You don't look negatively at her age, do you?
She's young.
She's young. And she's 90, and she's so youthful in spirit. I totally agree. And she's amazing artist.
Like always, I look at her work; it makes me happy.
It's true, isn't it?
It's really interesting because I lead a child, and she says it's so important to create happiness that people look at your work and they feel happy and they feel. How can I put it? They feel.
I think it's up to artists to invoke a variety of emotions, but maybe Aelita's got a really good point. Maybe we need more art that lifts your spirits rather than just reflecting the angst and the negative side of life. The fact that it can be depressing and can be really
I think
tragic.
I absolutely agree with that.
So Aelita definitely does that. I mean, Aelita's paintings are just these colourful eruptions of paint and texture
it's really interesting
toys
because it's just for me earlier it was pretty uncanny that she would use such a strong colors, especially black. She has so much black in her work, but
that's the cosmos, isn't it?
She loves, because I was asking her about it as well, and she says she loves black because it's a color of our cosmos, color of our space, and it's just quite interesting perspective on all this. She uses a lot of strong colors, and
but isn't it interesting though that all canvases are prepared white? I mean, I know there are some that are prepared black, but why is it? Is there any reason? Is there some political reason for them being
No,
white?
just neutral color of
Well, white's not neutral. Nothing is neutral. No, hang on. Nothing is neutral.
linen or canvas or cotton.
Neutral. Wait a minute.
Cotton
Neutral.
is white, isn't
Wait a
it?
minute.
Cotton
Neutral.
is white. Yes,
No. But you gesso it to prepare it.
Well, you can get all
Grey
different
is neutral.
color
Hang on. If you're talking photographically, grey
well,
is
linen
neutral.
not exactly. Linen canvas is not exactly white.
I just think it's a political statement. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm reading too much into the colour of
I
canvases.
think you're reading too much into.
I don't know. I
canvases.
mean, just
But you see,
I don't know.
but look,
look at everything.
I was
critical
quite,
eye.
found quite strange for child
canvases.
using so much black, because you see, like we always think our child is just lots of pink, lots of, especially for girl. She sort of like orange is pink and all that, but she's sort of not into the orange or pink. It really was really interesting from the beginning. But anyway, like probably the best idea.
She uses, but that's the amazing thing too, is she not only uses a variety of all these different colours, but she seems to have some intuitive way to know how to blend them together, so that it's really beautiful and
she mixes different
dynamic
colors, like different colors. She just works on a different color.
And somebody was saying, some painter was saying that, I can't remember who it was, but some painter made the specific point. He said that it's just extraordinary the way she has this sense that you would normally get just from being educated in art, the sense that she has about which colours to combine in which particular ways because of colour theory. It's almost like she has an intuitive understanding of this very high level colour theory. And they couldn't believe it. They thought it was just uncanny and extraordinary.
It's quite amazing, because we get in so many like professional, like art professors, or talking about
professionals in the art world who actually
professionals in the art world commenting on Aelita's work, and it's quite extraordinary, because of course we certain things we know, we're knowledgeable, we read a lot, and we're also like not in visual arts but in visual medium.
We're in the visual arts, but not painting.
Not
painting per se.
But photography and film and video. And like we're quite knowledgeable about it, because it's just, this is what touches us. This is what we love doing. This is what really, really personal, really like extraordinary for us as human beings. But it's just interesting to hear somebody else's opinion.
Right.
And
someone highly regarded in the art world.
Highly regarded in the art world. And please, we just really like to know what would you like to hear from us?
Yeah,
as
please
parents,
let us know.
About education, about art, about school, about Alita's homeschool. Just to tell us, like, put the questions. We're so happy to answer your questions, and put questions towards Aelita too, because like she's only happy to hear from you, and she will answer your questions.
We'll get her on camera soon, I promise you. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I think we'll probably wrap that up for today.
Thank you for listening.